Hey, Shalom, Makim, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakudash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and also teaching this truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes in who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson, and I pray this lesson will be edifying to the elect. And I wanted to do a somewhat of a response video to the video that you see here on the screen that was done by Elder Apostle Gabar, entitled "They Speak Evil of Things They Don't Understand." And he was doing a response video to the elder brother Manat Zakba, going in on how, you know, you have these other Israelite camps that'll say that GMS is cowards, you know, and really, you know, these individuals that call us quote unquote cowards and things of that nature, you know, they're not using prudence. You know, the scripture says that a prudent man foreseeth the evil and he hideth himself. You know, and it's not always about being, you know, it's not about being, you know, a tough guy in this thing. You know, oh, if that was us, man, we wouldn't have ran, we wouldn't have called the cops, we wouldn't have did that. You know, you GMS, y'all some cowards. You know, and there's plenty of examples in the scriptures where, you know, warriors, you know, men, you know, who were notable warriors had to flee. You know, but ultimately, you know, in this time that we're in right now, you know, Yahweh Shai didn't call us to be, you know, warriors, and he didn't call for us to be, you know, like I'm gonna use a term like a Billy Badass. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai said it in Matthew the 10th chapter. He said, "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." You know, but going out trying to make a show for yourself, trying to, you know, show forth that you pack in the heat, whatever the case may be, and, you know, all that madness, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, you stick out like a sore thumb, and it's just not wise. You know, the elder Apostle Gabar made a point of an example of King Ahab. You know, whenever he went up to Ramoth Gilead, which it was prophesied, you know, that it was prophesied in the angels. You know, Yahweh commanded the angels on how he was going to be put to death. You know, King Ahab went up to Ramoth Gilead and he disguised himself, and he ended up getting killed. You know, and he really was being willful. And you know, it made me think of the example with King Josiah. You know, King Josiah was, you know, a righteous king in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, everybody likes to, you know, I'm sorry, that's Hezekiah's Passover, but King Josiah was a righteous king. You know, he cleansed the temple. You know, he was known as, you know, of being one of the more righteous kings of the southern kingdom. But one thing that King Josiah did do was he didn't take heed to the warning that was given to him through Pharaoh Necho. Now Pharaoh Necho, you know, he was it's really Pharaoh Necho II, which he was the king of the 26th dynasty. And at that time, whenever Pharaoh Necho was going up to Carchemish, as we're going to read, you know, he was pretty much going up to assist the Assyrians. You know, because at this time you had you know, you had the Neo-Babylonian Empire coming into power, and they were allied with the Medes. You know, so Pharaoh Necho was going up to assist the Assyrians, and as we're going to read, you know, Josiah pretty much came up and tried to battle against them, and Pharaoh Necho pretty much told him, like, man, you know, if you do this, you're going against the will of the Lord. And the scriptures tell you, you know, who hath resisted his will. You know, Pharaoh Necho was pretty much operating in the will of the Lord. You know, the scripture says that he rules in the kingdom of men. You see, but as the title of this lesson is going to be, I don't want to do too much rambling. You know, the title of today's lesson is going to be the danger of ignoring the Most High's warnings. Lesson from King Josiah's mistake. Okay? So without further ado, we're going to begin reading, and we'll go from there. So this is 2 Chronicles 35 and 20. And you can also read this account in of 2 Kings, the 23rd chapter as well too. All right, but it says, after all of this, when Josiah had prepared the temple, Necho, king of Egypt, came up against Carchemish by Euphrates. All right, and that came up against Carchemish was the battle. You can read about the battle of Carchemish. Excuse me. It says, and Josiah went out against him. All right. It says, but he sent ambassadors to him, saying, what have I to do with thee, thou king of Judah? I come not against thee this day, but against the house wherewith I have war. For the Most High commanded me to make haste. So Pharaoh Necho, Pharaoh Necho was pretty much in order. Pharaoh Necho was commanded by Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai and the angels, all right, to go up and to Carchemish, man. You see, and then you pretty much had Josiah that pretty much tried to thwart or stop the will of the Lord from taking place, right? Let's read that again. It says, "For the Most High commanded me to make haste, forbear thee from meddling with the Most High, who was with me, that he destroy thee not." He's like, man, so look, he pretty much like, hey man, you bag back. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, chill out. And the thing is that, you have these individuals at the Sakari that, that did their whole march for the Northern Kingdom, and how ISIS pretty much, gathering up the northern tribes, and that's really the judgment. That's really the judgment of the Lord, man. That's really the judgment of the Lord. And like I said in my video, my response video to that is that, to hell with some damn Mexicans, man. To hell with some damn Mexicans. To hell with some damn black people. To hell with some damn Indians. That's not who we worried about, man. Those who you should be worried about, all right, is the elect of the nation of Israel. As the scripture says that we endure all things for the elect's sake. Okay, not nobody that's not even worried about the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, but anyways, continuing on. In verse 22, it says, "Nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, but disguise himself." You see, so Josiah also disguised himself. Let's get this word disguise real quick here. All right, that word disguised is chapash. All right, chapash. All right, and it says here, let me go get the bold word. It says search. All right, so that word chapash means to search. But let's go down deeper here. It says disguised by change of garments. You see, because it was customary for a king, all right, to wear a particular garment to know forth that to pretty much know that this was the king. So he pretty much changed his raiment so that he could disguise himself. Okay. It says but disguise himself that he might fight with him, and hearken not unto the words of Necho from the mouth of the Most High, and came to fight in the valley of Megiddo. So let's read that last part again. It says, "And hearken not unto the words of Necho from the mouth of the Most High." You see, even though it was Pharaoh Necho saying this, it was a warning from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so how much more the prophets? How much more not taking heed to the warning, all right, given by the mouthpiece of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, which is his men. Okay, the scripture says, let me get a precept. All right, it says, what's that? 2 Chronicles 20 and 20. All right, this is 2 Chronicles 20 and 20. It says, "And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in Yahweh your power, so shall ye be established. Believe his prophets, so shall ye prosper." So in order for you to prosper, you have to believe in the message that the prophets are given from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And it's up to you. Well, I ain't even going to really say it's up to you, because it's not. All right? I was going to say it's up to you to discern, who's telling you the right message and who's telling you the incorrect message. But what does the scripture say? My sheep hear my voice. So if you're any of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, ultimately you're going to hear the correct message, and you're going to take heed to it, and you're going to stray away from the wrong message, and you're going to withdraw yourself from it. Okay? Verse 23, it says, "And the archers shot at King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, Have me away, for I am sore wounded." So he had a fatal wound, right? His servants therefore took him out of that chariot and put him in the second chariot that he had, and they brought him to Jerusalem, and he died and was buried in one of the sepulchres of his fathers. And all Judah and Jerusalem mourned for Josiah. Now ultimately the scripture says that life and death is in the hands of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So this is all, this all happened for a reason. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai orchestrated it to go down that way. But what does the scriptures also say? The scripture says that all things are the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So King Josiah's example of his righteousness, cleansing the temple, you know, pretty much doing the Reformation, of course, was a good example. It was a beautiful example, especially at the time where you had, you know, wicked kings of the southern kingdom that was ruling, and they took away the sacrifice and things of that nature. That it goes to show you forth, it goes to show forth, I rather say, you know, the good things that Josiah did. But that one act alone, which was, you know, orchestrated through the will and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, that one action alone costed him. It cost him his life. You see, it cost him his life because he didn't take heed. You know, he tried to do it. He tried to do his own thing, and doing your own thing, all right, trying to do your own thing, I'd rather say, in this truth can ultimately be a death ticket to you, man. Okay, this is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. It says, "Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall." You see, and that's one thing that our people, you know, that's one thing that our people our people are very, very proud, man. Very, very arrogant. You know, have no respect for authority. You know, I'm talking about no respect for the men that taught them. You know, and Jake is ultimately gonna have that. They're gonna use that pride to their downfall, man. Let's read this in the NLT. Pride goes before destruction, and haughtiness before a fall. Pretty much the same thing. Okay, an arrogant look, you know, a proud look. That's something that the Lord hates when you read in Proverbs the 6th chapter. The Lord hates a proud look. Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. It says, "Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding." You see, when you lean into your own understanding, you know, the scripture says in the book of Romans somewhere, I believe it's Romans the 12th chapter. I believe it's Romans the 12th chapter. Excuse me, the 12th chapter. It says, be not therefore wise in your own conceits, for lack of better words. You see, being wise in your own opinion, trying to do your own thing. You're not to lean upon your own understanding, man. What does Jeremiah the 17th chapter say? It says that the heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Okay. And a lot of Jake leaning onto their own understanding when it comes to, you know, the MOTB, you know, who has the truth, you know, we gonna do our own thing. We got it. We gonna do our own thing. We're gonna see where that's gonna get you. Where did that get King Josiah? He didn't take heed, and then ultimately he got put to death for not taking heed to the council. You know, and that was a heathen. That was a heathen that said that to him. You know. Let you know that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai can use anybody to speak to you, man. He could use a woman, he could use a heathen, you know. Shit, Balaam, you know, Balaam pretty much got rebuked by a donkey. When you read that account, you know, the donkey was seeing an angel with a sword in his hand, and the donkey was, you know, he was on a donkey, and the donkey was he kept hitting the wall, you know, and you know, Balaam pretty much was hitting the donkey, you know, trying to get it to go in one direction, and the Lord had to put the spirit on the donkey to talk to him, like, man, look, there's an angel over here, man. I ain't about to go over here and get destroyed because of your ass. You know? So how much more man? Verse 6, it says, "In all thy ways acknowledge him." You see that? "In all thy ways acknowledge him," Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, "and he shall direct thy paths." You see, we're to acknowledge Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in everything that we do. Like Apostle Elder Gabar said in this lesson, all right, before you make any decision, before you do anything, you should have Yahweh Shai in mind first. The scripture says, "Let this mind be in you that was in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai." You know, would Yahweh Shai, you know, would Yahweh Shai be pleased with this act? You know, would Yahweh Shai do this? Would Yahweh Shai do that? If Yahweh Shai was on the earth walking around right now, would he be engaged in in an activity like this? And if the answer is no, you don't do it. And if the answer is yes, you know, you do it. And how do you know if it's yes or no? Well, you read the scriptures. Yeah, we got the documents to show forth what it is. And then the Lord also gave us examples to look to. The scripture says, "Mark the perfect man in the end thereof his peace." Look at this nigga Samuel L. Jackson. Golly. That's one coon ass nigga right there, boy. All right, it says verse 7. It says, "Be not wise in thine own eyes." You see that? Be not wise in thine own eyes. I guarantee you, if you do the cross reference, that precept that I quoted probably gonna be in here somewhere. Yep, here it is. Romans 11. Romans chapter 11. I'm sorry, this is it. Romans 12 and 16. All right, it says, well, both of them really. But this is when I was thinking of Romans 12 and 16. Be of the same mind one toward another. And that's talking about what? Being of the same mind of one toward another in the doctrine. You know, can't sit here and say that, you know, you walking together, you know, unity, but y'all sit here believe y'all, you know, y'all don't believe the same thing. This is talking about those of the brotherhood, man. All right. It says, mind not high things. What does high things represent? Lofty things, being arrogant. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Pretty much condescend to men who are humble. Okay, this thing is not about being a man. Okay, if anything, it's about showing that you're not the man on the side. Wait for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to exalt you. Be not wise in your own conceit. You see that? In the way of being wise in your own conceit is being wise in your own opinion. You know, being wise in the things that you want to do, because it may feel good in the flesh, or it may look like you could get a one-up, or you know you can get some carnal. You know, it really is just stroking your ego at the end of the day. When to hell with your ego. You know, you got to put your ego or your pride to the side, man. And because if you don't, all right, you'll get destroyed. Right? So verse 7 again, Proverbs 3 and 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. That's what it's all about. You see? Fearing Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and departing from the wicked evil ways that really dwell within you. And when I say within you, I'm speaking collectively, because we're all, scripture says that the creature was made subject to vanity. You know, our bodies and this flesh is rooted in sin. You gotta cast yourself away. And when I say cast yourself away, I mean putting your pride to the side. That's pretty much what I'm saying, for lack of better words. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 9. It says, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry. See? Because a lot of times when you're hasty in your spirit to be angry and mad, you know, you could say something that could get your ass into a lot of trouble, or you could do something that can get your ass into a lot of trouble. Hey, the scripture says, let not the sun go down upon your wrath, man. You know? Hey, the scriptures tell you that, let me get that real quick. I think it's Proverbs, the 16th chapter. A man that can't control his spirit is like a city without walls. This isn't the one. Without walls. Let's do without walls. Here it is. Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. What's the point of having a city with no defense? You know, having no, you know, the walls are used as a defense, especially in the ancient world. You know, if you had high walls, you know, it was hard for that city to be penetrated. So using this analogy like the King Solomon used here, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Pretty much you open for any kind of attack. You just open. You see? That's how it is when you don't rule your when you don't rule your own spirit, man. You just open to all kinds of spirits, you know, and you open to all kinds of repercussions as well too. So let's read this again. Ecclesiastes 7 and 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. See that? And a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, man, you could be angry, you know, and you could say the wrong thing. You know, you can act out and do the wrong thing, you know, try to put judgment into your own hands, you know. But ultimately, man, that could be a foolish move, man. And you have a lot of camps, you have a lot of Israelite camps that do that, man. You see? That do things based on the flesh because it may look good on the outside, or it may bring forth more numbers. And really it's not a wise decision. Okay? 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22, it says, and Samuel said, hath Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahweh? That's what it's all about. You see? That's what it's all about. Okay, the Lord, the scripture says, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, man. So the Lord, he's like, man, look, the Lord, you know, the Lord doesn't delight in how many sacrifices you can do, carnal sacrifices. He delights if you're going to listen to him or not. And who does the voice of the Lord go to? His men, the prophets. All right, it says, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. You see? So to obey and to listen to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua via his men is better than sacrifice, man. You see? But once again, it's an ego thing for a lot of these guys, man. It's about ego, and a lot of Jake's egos, all right, is gonna get them destroyed, man. Okay? Verse 23, it says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. And what is rebellion? All right, rebellion literally means back at war. All right? The rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. And the scripture says what? Suffer not a witch to live. It says, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And what is stubbornness? Pretty much to be obstinate, to be hard-headed. Okay? That word stubbornness is patazar, which is what? To press, push, to press, be insolent, displaying pushing, arrogance, or presumption. You see? Presumptuous is being willful. To display pushing, i.e. arrogance or presumption. And that's exactly what Josiah did. You see, he was being willful. He didn't take heed to the will. He didn't take heed to the message, and he pretty much went against the will of the Lord. Well, in the spirit he didn't. The scripture says that man's goings of the Lord, but in the flesh, it looks like he went against the will of the Lord. He didn't take heed to the message. He didn't take heed to counsel, which ultimately got him killed in battle. It says, because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And this is going into King Saul. He was rejected because he didn't obey the command from Samuel. Samuel commanded him and said, look, when you go up against the Amalekites, man, don't leave nothing, man. Kill everybody. Kill the animals, kill Agag, slay them all. And King Saul didn't do that. And for that act alone, he pretty much lost the kingdom. And then ultimately demons got put on him, man, to try to kill. King David got anointed, and then ultimately demons got put on him, man. Okay? Remember the scripture says, my ways are not your ways, as my ways is higher than my ways. My thoughts is higher than your thoughts. Okay, so it's important to take heed to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right, and not ignoring, the mouthpiece of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, because Proverbs 1 and 21 on down is gonna happen. That's gonna happen, man. Because you despise the word, man, the Lord gonna despise you in that time. Okay? So I just wanted to do a quick lesson on this. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Once again, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Hakudash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and that's what teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.